Hi everyone, welcome to the GameTalk, Utrecht Ajax 4-3. I'm past. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to ask you, Kabir. To be honest, It's not even shocked, man. It's like, where are we heading? Where are we going with this team, with this coach, with everything? Like, it gets worse every week. You know, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. It seems, and we're in a couple of weeks already, and we lost to the team that I said on Thursday was one of the worst teams I've seen play this week. Just to remind people who might have missed our live stream on Thursday, and then I will give you, of course, the floor to react.
Maybe you guys will think I'm crazy. What if he wins Sunday with good football, and then?
Yeah, but that's like saying, what if I win the lottery on Saturday?
Yeah, of course. I know that, but
it's not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
happen.
No, but
In all honesty, I've seen Utrecht play
yeah,
twice.
me too.
But it was not with Ron Jans. I have to be honest with that. So it was with the previous coach, Silverbaum, I think.
Yeah,
Silverbauer.
Silverbauer.
Yes, they were really bad. So and
Also with Jans, they played not well.
I only know, but I only saw the highlights. They lost to Almere City, guys. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Dude, I don't have any faith that we will beat Almere.
I know from our stance, us being.
We should not talk. We should not
I don't
talk.
have any faith.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to jinx it.
Honestly, Juan, if tomorrow we had to play a KNV Beker match away at NAC Breda or FC Groningen, I don't think we would win that even.
Yeah.
Come on.
Like,
you guys are exaggerating a little bit.
No,
Let's all blame Juan if we lose. Let's all blame, all the viewers blame Juan if we lose.
Look at this. Avondje NAC, we won't get through an Avondje NAC. Trust me, bro.
We were having fun on Thursday, but I have to apologize to the viewers, also to FC Utrecht, for saying they lost to Almere City. I don't know what to say, man. Honestly, I'm going to give you the floor. Please take it away.
No, look, Juan, the thing is that I've gone beyond all. I've gone past that stage where I'm going to be ranting and raving, because I think you only rant and rave if you really have some form of expectation, or if there's real sort of, disappointment around it. But it was all very predictable, and FC Utrecht, as I mentioned on the show on Thursday, FC Utrecht, regardless of how good we are as a team, regardless over the years, I'm talking historically, it's always been a very tough place for us to play away. Utrecht really have this rivalry that brings out the best in them when they play against us. And I was expecting nothing, everything to be the same, and nothing to change in that regard. And lo and behold, that's what happened, right? We went there, and it was a real battle, up and down, seesaw match. You go 2-0 down, you show some character, you go 3-2 up, and then you give it away again. So in every sense of the word, it was like a relegation battle match for two teams trying to fight out tooth and nail. But, we came up short, and I'm not surprised. I really don't know what more to say. I think that, as weeks progress in any football season, you're meant to see some form of improvement, and maybe players getting better, players understanding a system, results starting to go your way. But it's the complete opposite that we're seeing this season with Ajax under Maurice Stein. We seem to be getting worse every week, to be honest. There doesn't seem to be any consistency when it comes to team selection. There doesn't seem to be any improvement when it comes to individual performances. And also, tactically very loose. There also worryingly, there doesn't seem to be any real plan or sort of tactical nous or awareness that's being created by the technical staff. So, look, all of these factors combine to us being, what are we now, 17th, 18th? I don't need, it's shocking, it's terrible, but it's, the saddest thing about all of this is that it's predictable, really. So what do? You can sit here and you can scream and shout till the cows come home, but harsh decisions have to be made. I do not, for one, understand how Maurice Stein is still in a job. from all of you guys who have been watching this show, you will know that I stuck my neck out on the line when he got appointed and said that I don't think he'll last until Christmas. And really and truly, he should have gone a long time ago, maybe a few weeks ago or a month ago. But for some reason, we're persisting with him. And this is what you're going to get.
You did say from the start that Steins for you was a very weird choice, and you didn't have any confidence in him from the start. I think a lot of people know that already that's following us. Let me ask you two questions. First of all, I mean, before the game, there were questions asked to Steins about his trip to Ibiza. That's one, but we talked about that already, so I'm not going to go there. But something else which was very interesting was he had different talks throughout those 2 weeks with Van Gaal. And he didn't share what those talks were. He would keep it to himself. But it was pretty, I mean, the way he said it, it looked positive. He was smiling a little bit. Is Van Gaal is looking at this and taking into account what's happened in recent weeks, is he still going to keep Steins in as a coach? I mean, apart from everything, do you see the players also, like every time, you know, they bring up the spirit and these kind of things, but do you see the players getting better with Steins? We have Brighton and PSV coming up. Yeah. We cannot even win from Utrecht.
Yeah, no, look, to answer your question, I don't see any real form of improvement in terms of individual performances. I see a lot of chopping and changing. I think also one of the things that he was asked before the match, Juan, as well, was that, you know, he talked about how he wanted a particular centre-back partnership. But even since then, you know, he's chopped and changed with Avila and Sutalo and Hato and then Sosa on the left. So, you know, there's come to a point also now where, you know, you can't take the man seriously because, you know, obviously the Dutch word is ongeloofwaardig, right? So anything he says now, you know, you have to take it with a pinch of salt because he goes against what he's saying as well. And, you know, I think that that's obviously, you know, if you couple that with bad decisions and, you know, bad results, it's you know, it's a cesspit of, it's just a vicious circle. And, you know, I can't see it getting any better. Now, to answer your question about what would Louis van Gaal think, I think that, you know, Louis van Gaal has been in the game for many years. He was a top manager himself. He will know that this can't carry on for much longer. But, you know, I mentioned it on Thursday as well, I feel like, I know it's not been an official announcement by Ajax, but, you know, you do feel like this is a little bit of that dreaded vote of confidence that you get from the board. You know, we trust the manager, we have faith in the manager, but really and truly, you're sort of a dead man walking, you're on borrowed time. It has to be the case. You know, I, for one, don't believe that there aren't any decent managers out there that would want to manage a club like Ajax, you know. There are a lot of names mentioned in the past couple of weeks, but there are some viable options. So I do not know what's keeping him in the job, but it's definitely nothing to do with the performances on the pitch.
We talked on Thursday about what you just said. We talked Thursday about who will, I mean, maybe the problem is also we don't know who will be his successor. Maybe that's why we're taking a little bit more time. Or maybe they want to get it right and look first at the structure, having Cruz back maybe on January and stuff like that. Start from the top, then work to the bottom. But surely we cannot take that risk and keep Steins until that moment. I mean, it won't be. We don't have any time anymore because the longer it takes, I said this already on Thursday, the longer it takes, the more problematic it will be for us this season to even think about going up in the league table.
Yeah, and we've now come to a point where there's a very realistic chance that actually if we don't pull our socks up and start getting 3 points under our belts, you know, forget about, you know, because obviously we say, wow, there's no chance we'll get relegated. And obviously I still believe that we obviously probably won't get relegated. But, you know, realistically, we need to finish in a position that will allow us any type of European football next season, you know, even if it's Conference League. But that, you know, the change needs to take place now because we have come into a situation where I don't feel that we will get 3 points from any team in the league. You know, we spoke about it the other day, and you know, I genuinely didn't feel that we would beat Utrecht. And, you know, and Utrecht are terrible, or at least they were before this match. You know, that was a good win for them today. But so something has to change. You know, you have to stop the rot. But I don't know what it is that Stein is doing internally. You know, what faith the board see in him. You know, there are options out there. You know, there are options out there. More seasoned managers that can get the best out of any squad, or at least perform a, you know, like one of those like stopgap appointments until the end of the season, where you can drag a club out of the situation they're in, just to arrest the slide. You know what I mean? Like, just because this is going to continue to slide. I have zero faith.
Do you expect some kind of announcement from Ajax today or tomorrow, or do you think there will be nothing happening?
Look,
Because we expected this already. Sorry, we expected this already after the AZ game.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. International break. Now we have Utrecht. Maybe Ajax was hoping, you know, maybe against Utrecht we can get some points, get some confidence back in the team. You know, heading to Brighton on Thursday, and then we have PSV next week.
Yeah, Juan,
Yeah,
I would be, I think I speak for many Ajax fans when I say that I really hope that there is some form of initial announcement. It can't continue for much longer. You know, you're losing to teams that, and it's not even about that. You know, it's also the style of play. You know, if you could see there was sort of a genuine tactic, if there was a genuine style of play, you know, if we've also just had a run of really bad luck, and then you say, okay, look, there's something we can work with, but there's none of that as well. So then there's nothing to hold on to say like, oh, it can get better, right? You know, like we mentioned it the other day as well, right? Like Inshallah FC. So it's you know, like but that's what it is. It's put 11 players out on the park and just hope, you know, hope that something might go right. This has to stop now. It has to end. You gambled on Murray Stein. You know, you gave him a chance. It hasn't worked out. Suck it up, bite the bullet, cut your losses, move on.
All right, let me go through the comments quickly. If people have any questions for Kabir or for us, let us know. Just quickly running through the comments, Kabir. Unless you have something else you want to add to what you already said, let me know as well.
No, I mean, look, there were a few, you know, plus points today. I thought Hilson obviously, and this is prior to his 2 goals, by the way. I thought he was very bright.
True.
So I think that, look, you know, if we're trying to give credit, then we can say, okay, credit to Murray Stein for putting him in the starting 11. And, you know, he repaid that faith with the 2 goals he scored, one of them which was an absolute screamer. You look at Sosa as well. There was obviously, you know, a lot of talk from Germany that he has a great left foot and that his crosses are excellent. We saw bits and pieces of that today as well, with 2 goals originating from that. So that those are the light points. And, you know, Forbes as well was a little bit the bright spark here and there at the start. So look, I don't want to just be all negative. There was a few bits and pieces there that looked good, something that can be built on, but it's not enough. It's not enough, and it's not consistent enough. And it's not enough to allow us as Ajax fans to be like, okay, you know what, we can build on this, because it's few and far between. And at the end of the day, the result, you know, you leave with 0 points.
True. Going through the comments, next is saying Kabir was right with his prediction. Contrarius is saying Kabir has been spot on from the start. Rick is saying Kabir was right all this time from the beginning.
Guys, just FYI, I really wish that I wouldn't be in this position. Like, even when I said all of those things at the start, I always caveated with saying, like, I hope I'm proven wrong. So yes, it's nice to be like, oh yeah, I was right and fine, but I didn't want to be right. Do you know what I mean? But here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Murder Inc. is saying, Kabir, since you predicted right, what is next to happen? What do you think will happen?
Yeah, look, I mean, if I was to sort of suggest what would happen from here on in, I say you have to end it now. You have to end it, because it's going to be a slow bleed to death, and you know, and just end it. Like I said, you know, Mislintat, he hired him. He's an overperformer apparently. He's gone now. Get Stein out. Start afresh. You know, Cruz is going to be coming through the door. Michel van Praag, Louis van Gaal are already here. Jean van der Sip. So, you know, the right things are starting to happen. But let's make the right decision now and get rid of Murray Stein, because it's uncomfortable for everyone. It's unpleasant for everyone. It's not doing anyone any good. Yep. End it.
RB is hoping at least you won the lottery.
I wish, dude. I wish.
Yeah. Here, I have an interesting one. Keith is saying, win or lose is normal in sports, but if Ajax play Ajax way and still losing, I will always be supporting whatsoever. This is not Ajax right now. I think we...
Yeah, and I think that's fair enough. And that's the point that I was trying to make, that if we are going out on the park each game day and we're playing the game that we want to be playing, we're showing that there's improvement in tactical awareness, in our shape, in players' performances, then you start to say, okay, fine, look, results aren't quite there, but everything else seems to be falling into place. But there's none of that. There's none of that as well.
Keith also saying, don't say our players are not better than 16 teams above us. We do not deserve 17 right now with the players that we have, but the way we play, we deserve nothing. So basically, he's just explaining again why he sees it that way. And honestly, I also tweeted something, when we were conceded like 2 goals, 2-0, just after the break. I was saying like, look, I'm fed up also. And that's also maybe the reason why Steins is still at Ajax. The media, the mainstream media, is still backing him up. The pundits, even this morning on ESPN, still the whole narrative about the players, about the players that we got, they're not good enough. It's not the Ajax way, etc., etc. There are only a few bits and pieces that you hear on mainstream media really targeting Stein and saying, no, this is not acceptable. It's all being thrown at Mislintat, who's now gone, but still his name pops up, and also on the players that we brought in. How do you see that?
Yeah, and I find that very strange because, the Telegraaf, for instance, we all know what they're like. I mean, I would have expected them to have been all over this, In previous years, they've never wasted any time when a manager hasn't been doing well. So I am very intrigued as to how Maurice Stein has managed to sort of, develop a sort of a persona whereby, no one really wants to be criticizing him publicly. The only person, obviously, that we have that does that is a Mr. Van Hooijdonk. But that's more from like a personal viewpoint. But it's very strange indeed. I mean, I don't know the reason behind it. I'm as perplexed as everyone. But I do feel that might change now on the back of this result. I feel like a little bit like this is the straw that's broken the camel's back, if you know what I mean. Like this is the final straw. Because you cannot justify today's result, today's performance, and also the situation that we're in. You can't anymore, because what's going to start happening is you're going to start losing the fan base in a big way, if you haven't already.
All right. So look, we will be talking to each other on Thursday. We will have a pre-match live stream before the Brighton game. It was already said, but what do you hope will happen between now and Thursday? Deep down, look at your heart.
Yeah,
look, it's hard to speak right now. Just what do you want? What do you want to see happening right now?
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, the players will get to the whole staff. Players will get together tomorrow. They'll analyze the game. They'll look at all the videos, the clips, see where they've gone wrong, and then try and implement that on the training ground tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. Obviously, they'll be flying as well. It's in an ideal world, you'd analyze it, you'd try and see how you can improve, and also look at, analyze the opposition as well. But Juan, the thing is, out of the 3 games that we had, the Utrecht, Brighton, and PSV, the most optimistic Ajax fan would have said, well, we'll get points against Utrecht today, right? And a bit of a no hope against Brighton and PSV. We didn't obviously do that today. So yeah, I don't see how we're going to get.
I'm afraid we're going to be trashed like we were trashed by Napoli last season.
Yeah, we are. And actually now I'm in a position, and I'm sure many Ajax fans are like that, is that the thought of winning or getting a draw is completely out of my mind. I'm now worried about damage control. I'm now worried, well, we're not going to lose like how Napoli bullied us and completely trashed us. You don't want it to be a 6, 7, 8-0 thing. Fans are talking about how PSV are going to do us 10-0 next weekend. That's a very realistic thought. you know, how far do we have to sink as a club and as a team for this to end? What has to happen? Do we literally have to get to play Keukenkampioen Divisie next season, along with what's the derby going to be? Young Ajax versus Ajax next season.
Yeah, we keep telling ourselves, no, things will, like straighten out throughout the season. But if we don't take action, nothing will
That's
happen.
not a given. That's not a given, right? You have to perform on the pitch.
Yeah. Quickly, by the way, just off topic from the match. It's also being commented a little bit. Your thoughts on Huntelaar having a burnout? Of course, we hope him the best. Of course, we hope.
It's sad. I think Klaas-Jan Huntelaar is someone that I respected not only as a player when he was with us, but just the work that he got given an opportunity to join the sort of technical side of things post career, and I think he genuinely has Ajax's best interests at his heart. He's just it's a complete SHIT show at the club. We don't know the stresses that he's going through, and he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would just be burnt out or maybe want to chill out or relax a little bit or play the game. He genuinely, he's a go-getter, determined guy. He wants to do well. So it's very sad that he's going through this burnout. And obviously we all hope that he gets better and he comes out the other side, maybe refreshed. But it's another loss. It's another loss for the club.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
Look, final comment I want to bring up and also conclude this live stream show. Video Yo-Yo is saying, look, it's no use talking about tactics or individual players. Nightmare Stein has to go. That's exactly the feeling that has grown into me in the last few weeks. Every time we go into a live stream or a game talk, we keep talking about Stein. It's not because we like to bash Stein or trash Stein. That's not the point. But there's literally nothing we can talk about else because these players, according to me, are not themselves. This is not the way, that's not their level, in my opinion. Of course, that's their level because that's what they show on the pitch. But I really think it's because there's no structure. There's no structure, there's no tactics, there's nothing. Every time it's shuffled, like you said. I think those players, each and every one of them, can do much better. That's what I feel. But it has to have somebody that knows how to put them in the right position, give them foundation, and let them perform better. So I'm not going to, sometimes we will talk about individual players, but there's no point. I totally agree.
And look, the thing is, we're not, there's no agenda versus, if tomorrow Murray Stein starts performing well and you see things that he's doing and you realize, then we praise him. Credit given where credit is due. But there just simply hasn't been any opportunity for us to do that since his appointment. So, like I said, I'm also in that camp, Juan, where I don't think that the players are as bad as what they're doing or how they're performing right now. I simply refuse to believe that. You look at someone like a Sutalo, and Croatian international. The guy was, he's played some very big games and he's done well in very big games. So, these guys, I believe, have the ability to do well, but it's just not. No one's getting the best out of them. It's all a mess there. It's a state of confusion, whether it's people not understanding Dutch or English, whether it's changing of positions, whether it's the fact that we're playing long ball, whether it's the fact that we give the opposition so much space, whether it's the fact that we don't even know how to press or counter press, whether it's the fact, there's so many things. There are so many things that go wrong week in, week out. In any walk of life, if you're an employee and you keep messing up, and you have to be held accountable, right, or not?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Why is it any different here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway.
Kabir, thank you so much, guys. Thank you also for tuning in after this very bad game, shit show, to be honest. Let's see what happens in the next few days, guys, and keep supporting the club, of course, as much as we can. And we'll see you guys on Thursday. Let's hope for the best. Thanks.
Yeah. Cheers, guys.